Hello everyone, and welcome to another No Logic race. It's the A Link to the Past Randomizer No Logic Summer Tournament 2022. And we have Game 2 versus it's Doomtap versus Bread-Kun. And Game 1 was great. Game 2 should be pretty good too. And our runners are readying up, and they'll be good to go in a moment. And as we're getting ready, we'll talk a little bit about what we've seen so far. Game 1 was Doomtap's win. So Doomtap is up a game. All right, our runners are off. They're both starting in Link's house. And let's see what their starters are today. Bread-Kun is going to South Shore. That's interesting. Doomtap goes to Hylia Island to check it right away. Oh, that's right. Bread-Kun goes for the Whirlpool right away. It's not South Shore. So what does Bread-Kun do here? Well, it's immediately putting to use a glitch we found this year. It is Ramen meets slope swimming, and we like to call it Swimmy G, or in this case, Dam Swam, where he rotates the control pad against a slope, and Link swims the opposite direction through all collision. All right, Doomtap finds out that Hera is green pendant. Wow, look at these big keys for Bread-Kun in back of his cape. Already, the Eastern Palace and Dark Palace big keys. All right, so if you're new to No Logic, it's clearly a major glitches mode of play. So our runners are allowed to do almost anything. There are certain tiers of glitches that they're not allowed to do, but they can just do major glitches, and we'll talk about them as we get to them. Bread-Kun is doing an overworld out of bounds clip and a fake flipper to do an early hobo check. The hook shot. This is what I would consider the most powerful item in this mode. That is a great early find. And Bread-Kun is doing a fake flipper out, which is again sort of a new route to take advantage of the new Swimmy G. All right, and Doomtap has found that hoarders drop 20 rupees. So this is a good opportunity to farm. And rupees are pretty useful in No Logic. It might be the kind of seed where we need to buy a lot of potions to do YBAs or Yuzuharu's Bottle Adventure. And another thing that's going on in the No Logic tournament is that it's Key Sanity. All dungeon items are shuffled. Key Sanity really makes it easier to dive dungeons because it has to do with a couple of things. First of all, dungeons don't lock each other immediately with small keys, and it makes inter-dungeon travel a little bit easier. Okay, Fire Rod is in the back of the tavern. And Bread-Kun used the slope swimming to get Ice Rod Cave quickly. And now it's just time for a couple other water checks. And we are hearing Legend of Zelda Remade. I believe the composer is Isabelle Chiming, and it's one of my favorite MSU packs. And let's see what's on Zora's domain ledge. It is a bow. So Bread-Kun is going to try dash buffering in a certain way to land on Zora's ledge. Maybe on the outside of the fence. And he'll just walk around. And Doomtap is checking Kakariko in the meantime. Small keys are not super important because we can enter dungeons in what we call cave state, and in caves, keys don't matter. It's also possible that we just won't clear that much of Ganon's Tower. Really, anything could happen. And Bread-Kun still making his way. This is one of the longer dash buffers I've seen against a slope. He's got it. So it's just going to take another one. And there we go. We can land. It's funny how this one takes a splash and then the second jump will land. I don't fully understand why that happens. But that's just the way it goes. That's the way we do it. All right, so he's got that bow. And meanwhile, Doomtap continuing to the library. We can take a second to appreciate Doomtap's good movement involving stair, drag, cancels to save frames here and there. For example, at the top of the ladder to the library. All right, Doomtap is now doing a teleport that puts him in a position to jump down to the desert area. Desert's often an early clear since it's next to Kakariko. And a Swamp Palace key is in Sahasra's closet. I forgot about that one. Meanwhile, a first sword is for Doomtap is on the torch of desert. And yeah, to answer a question in chat, does this mode include all glitches? It does not include all glitches. It is what we call the no EG rule set, which is to say no underworld EG is allowed or plaid world, which these are basically glitches that ignore layers. And so we have to keep Link on a proper layer. Now Doomtap is doing an underworld glitch called Quadrant Glitch, and it lets Link skip over a tile on the map. He set it up by taking damage against the edge of the screen. And Desert is known for its edges instead of doors. Now he's got to bomb himself to Death Warp out of this area because it doesn't have a key to get out. Meanwhile, Bread-Kun's making a play for Eastern Palace. This is an interesting play, and why not? He could potentially clear it right now. He got that early big key from Back of Escape. Okay, the skeletons are having a party outside the eastern map chest, and Bread-Kun's just stunning them to get them away. Pretty nice to have hookshot, obviously, in any mode of play. All right, how are we? All right, nice 3 arrow setup for Bread-Kun. And the Stalfos room. And all right, that's the end of the play for Doomtap, saving and quitting out of Agena. Yeah, more about glitches. Arbitrary code execution is not allowed. Out of bounds misslotting is not allowed. What we call out of bounds misslotting is putting Ancilla, or the stuff that Link makes, out of the slots where they will go in normal gameplay. In other words, we can misslot, but we're not allowed to put anything in a slot that's not usually used for Ancilla. In other words, anything over the 9th slot. All right, so what's in the dam? Doomtap finds the hammer and as the sunken item. Okay, fairy opportunity for Bread-Kun. I was thinking about these large pots the other day. I forgot which dungeons they were in. I know that they are in this dungeon and in Tower of Hera, but I don't know if that's all of them. At least the ones that are intended. All right, some good stuff in Mini Moldorm Cave for Doomtap. Ice Palace, thank you. Yeah, so Doomtap finds the lamp and half magic. The lamp is part of the hook pushing combo of items. And hook pushing is a powerful glitch that we can potentially use. It's not used in most seeds, however, because it does take a lot of items to be able to do. It's very possible it can happen soon. Okay, Doomtap has 0 bombs coming out of Mini Moldorm. And teleports into Ice Rod. Meanwhile, Bread-Kun makes his way through Eastern, headed for double readies. Needs arrows. Let's get 3 more. Now Bread's at max. Alright, Armos fight for Bread-Kun. Meanwhile, Doomtap is doing new DMA, which is now really old. The Silvers! Another bow is at Armos. Very nice. And Doomtap is rescuing the old man. And he used some overworld glitches to get into the cave. Old man has a shield. Oh, the TR key is at sync. I missed that. Okay, so next is Hera for Doomtap. Both runners know that it's green pendant at this point. Oh, the flute is here. Okay. It's a death warp for Doomtap. Fair enough. Are we gonna get one more item? Yeah, yeah, that's right. The sword was at desert. So, yeah, so Doomtap's got some powerful weapons already. Mothula is already accessible. There's a lot that the runners can do with no items, basically. But that would involve bunny navigation. Not sure we're ready to do anything like Dark World Overworld yet. So each runner has some great items. Bread-Kun will find Fire Rod in Kakariko. And most likely we'll go to desert. There's a rod. It's a second Fire Rod for Doomtap. So we'll ignore that. I don't see anyone going to the floating island today. Doomtap taking a shortcut, crossing paths with the red Tektite in midair. That was pretty neat. Did not take damage at all. So there's a castle tower key. Usually we don't care about having 2 keys to castle tower. 1 is good enough to just check both items. A lot of the time we don't see that dungeon at all. And we almost never fight Aghanim. And there's just nothing we need that much from Lumberjack. Oh, the other castle tower key is that bottle vendor. Okay. Big Key of Hera for Doomtap, interesting. And Skull Woods. So is that the play? We'll see what's next for Doomtap. No bottles yet for our runners. Bottles are pretty important, like I mentioned. They are used for YBAs. And that will be good for dungeon travel. There's a cost to it, but they're basically always used in races. It could be a Moon Pearl replacement as well, if they don't find Moon Pearl. Alright, Bread-Kun is going to desert. This is good. Oh, information. Pendant Swamp and Crystal Skull Woods. Oh, I missed Moon Pearl. Huh. Okay. My fault. Doomtap is Link in the Dark World and is doing Dark World Overworld. Going straight to Super Bunny Cave. Alright, what's next for Doomtap? He has no gloves, but may want to get into Oakshot Cave anyway. Yeah, so this is a wrap that will put Link in Here we go. Yeah, that's the wrap. It's kind of funny that the wrap itself is not. It does not really seem like a major glitch because Link is sort of hopping off of an island that's on the bottom of the screen. But getting there involves clipping out of bounds, of course. All right, are we hovering? Doomtap setting up. Meanwhile, Bread-Kun does similar checks to Doom. Doomtap is a consistent hover. Just junk in the cave. Oh. So Bread-Kun is doing dash buffering here, but the easier method is to simply get hook speed or spin speed and just diagonal into the corner, and Link will do a hop. Okay, Doomtap is doing a down teleport. This will put him in position to get into Turtle Rock. Yeah, he gets the jump down and the wrap. So this places Link right in front of the laser bridge. Oh, meanwhile, Bread-Kun gets the map of Turtle Rock underground. Oh wow, the mirror is here. That's pretty high value. Mirror is a good YBA replacement. It breaks the camera in subtitles, but yeah, it's pretty useful. It's reusable. Okay, all right, that's the whole play for Doomtap. That was pretty good, though. Just do a play to Laser Bridge for 4 items, one of them being Mirror. And Doomtap's going back to Hera. He's got the big key. And meanwhile, Bread-Kun is farming rupees a little bit. The key of Turtle Rock is in Hera. That's interesting. That would not have helped Doomtap. And the gloves are in the big chest. Nice. But yeah, the big key of Turtle Rock is good to have. All right, Bread-Kun is doing a bomb juke, and he'll be using bombs to snap Link past the transition, and then he'll walk into the door from the wrong side, and that will make Link skip over a super tile, and he's able to open the King's Tomb chest. And I don't know what it was. I don't know if Doomtap got that, because I had looked away coming out of Mini Moldworm. But that was well done by Bread. And Doomtap earns the green pendant. I kind of missed the Moldworm fight, but Doomtap is well versed in the NMG fight with Fighter Sword. All right, what's next for Bread-Kun? A fake flipper, apparently. Okay, it's the Pond of Happiness. And here we are going to throw in rupees until we upgrade No, we're just going to buy the upgrade. In fact, both of them. Okay, Doomtap is dashing through the overworld with Burna. Okay, Bread-Kun is spending 300, a good budget to use here. Always worth... Oh, the budget is increasing. That's great. He's got 25 maximum bombs. And this will be really good. He's got the hook shot. He may be using a lot of bombs for hook pushing. In fact, he has the power to do it. In fact, going for, what was that? 500 rupees spent? He's got 30 bombs and 35 arrows. We almost get to see sort of a tied maximum count of bombs and arrows. Okay, Doom is in Skull Woods already. I was so entranced by the shopping. I missed that this play had begun. Alright, so this is certainly a dungeon we can do. I had mentioned that we didn't want to do Dark World navigation to Skull Woods, but Doomtap's got the Moon Pearl. It's no problem at all. Oh, it looked like Bread-Kun may have missed the new DMA and knew the backup, so that was good. Alright, Doomtap beats the mummies and pushing the statue. The flippers are in Skull Woods. And Doomtap goes to the back of Skull. Okay, Bread-Kun is in Hera. If I remember correctly, has not picked up a big key from DM. But that's okay. I hope. I believe gloves were there, and those are pretty helpful, but not essential. Nice hair pot. And okay, Bread-Kun's going straight to Moldorm. I like how aggressive this is. A good play. Will be interesting to see if he perhaps does the middle section later or directly after, or never, saving time. All right, Mothula fight on Doom's side, and a pretty scary Moldorm fight on Bread's side, but dashes up and defeats Moldorm. Doomtap using half magic and fire rod. Mothula is bouncing everywhere, but goes down. Just a red rupee, and he gets the crystal. And Hera is a green pendant, so that is a green pendant earned for Bread as well. And yeah, that's all for Bread-Kun. You'll avoid the middle of Hera for now. Okay. I'm slightly confused. I forgot where Fire Rod is. For him to get this means that he forgot to go to Back of Tavern. Or just skipped it. But I did not expect us to go to Floating Island, but there it is. I'm proven wrong. So always nice to see Link teleport into the sky and dash through the clouds, which apparently are made of water. And not just vapor water, but liquid water. So, I didn't see the front of Thieves Town. Doomtap is returning to Village of Outcasts. Okay. Doomtap wants to activate Flute. Yeah, and we see the gate closed. Doomtap has not made that play yet. Interesting. Doom will wait to do Thieves Town and might as well do it all when he has Big Key, perhaps, is what he's thinking. Or I don't know. We'll see. You never know what the runners are gonna do. That's the great thing about watching no logic races. Yeah, Doomtap is skipping it for now. Alright, Bread-Kun gets the knowledge on Swamp, Skull, and TR too, which is Crystal 6. And digging game for Doomtap. And avoids the green in midair, but it's in the way, so he picks it up. Just a green rupee prize from digging game. Doomtap using citrus clips to swiftly clip into Mire. All right, Doomtap shows us that Mire requires bombos. Yeah, so Skullwoods for Bread-Kun. We get a checkerboard cave check. It is simply a small key. The skull. Not useful now. Most likely. For another teleport out of here to get out of Mire. Oh, I missed the Quake medallion. But yeah, that's in the trap room of Skull. Oh. What's next for Doomtap? He'll probably check the bomb shop to get info, and then go to... Well, it looks like he'll go to Hype Cave first, if he doesn't die to bombers and moblins. Oh, he's dashing away. That's interesting. I think it's to avoid damage. Okay, Bread-Kun's setting up a hook push. This is a stuck hook. So he's got a hook stuck. Oh, I missed I saw Turtle Rock. All right. Anyway, Bread gets it. The hook is in suspense, and it's released, which carries Link in the direction that the hook is going. So he's just able to go to the right, and a right transition conveniently goes to the back of Skullwoods. Yeah, and shout outs to our tracker, Sammy Mus. I forgot how to pronounce your name, but thanks so much. It is most likely that Moon Pearl was an invisible item. No logic is very hard to track, so we appreciate it very much. We oftentimes see Link open chests where Link's not even on the screen, or we see the chests open and nothing comes out. A lot can happen in these races that are kind of graphically goofy. All right, Doomtap is going for a Tam Swam. This will be a pyramid check of the whole pyramid. All right, Bread-Kun is farming up for Mothula. Even gets a heart dupe. All right, starting with a spin. That's good. Now time for some fire rod spam. And by spam, I mean well-placed shots. And Mothula goes down. Nice fight. Doomtap only finds a Hera small key at the pyramid. He does have the mirror, though, which means he has access to Hyrule Castle. And I kind of wonder if he'll go through the whole thing all at once. Maybe. The key of Ice Palace is at Uncle Passage. Not very exciting. What's next for Bread-Kun? He's wrapped. He's navigating Dark Death Mountain. This places Bread-Kun on a position to do the Death Mountain super drop, and we'll see Link wrap the screen 4 times, and the jump happens 2 times. So this places Link very, very far down on the map. In fact, the very bottom. And the map is, yeah. So the screen is a little bit messed up as it happens when Link screen wraps. But the camera can be fixed by walking into a multi-entrance cave or a dungeon. And so Swamp Palace works. And meanwhile, Doomtap continues through Hyrule Castle. We'll see what's next. He's got the mirror again, making it clear of this dungeon easy. And that small key, which was on the pyramid ledge. Meanwhile, Bread-Kun gets the Junkin Hype Cave. No information? No. Bread-Kun has been making skips that surprise me. Interesting. Keeping me on my toes. I appreciate that. And Doomtap is going through all of sewers. And this is pretty good. He'll get his big keys here. Would not be surprised if he uses the Eastern big key to go to Eastern next. Kind of unfortunate to have so much access to the world. It probably will not encourage him to go to Hobo and remember, Hobo has the hook shot. Bread-Kun has already taken advantage of that for stuck hooks. And yeah, that is a pretty good advantage for Bread-Kun. I appreciate both runners mapping almost immediately upon entering Mire, because it causes some pretty obnoxious flashing with bad textures because the rain doesn't load correctly. Okay, what's next for Doomtap? It's a pod play, and he uses Spectacle Rock to get there. And it happens to be an underworld map wrap. So what I mean by that is that Spectacle Rock Cave is at the bottom of the underworld map and pod is at the top. So they're kind of connected in that way. And then as an effect, all the sprites are despawned, basically. Meanwhile, it's a Mire play for Bread-Kun. He's got bombos, he's able to go in. The vanilla big key chest of pod. Pretty nice. There's a Master Sword there for Doomtap. So what else is happening? Yeah, I was thinking about that Hobo play. Another funny thing about this seed is that there's no bottles. So going from one dungeon to another is not really that accessible. Like oftentimes we go to pod and use a bottle to wrong warp to Hera, but that is not an option. So yeah, that's also not on the table on the seed anyway, because we already have a big key to Hera. Bread-Kun finds a Mire key in Mire. Not a lot to speak of yet. And yeah, so Doomtap is in cave state. Like I mentioned before, keys don't matter in cave state, and that's because we enter with a value of essentially 255 keys, and in this state, the key count does not appear on the HUD. That is, of course, until you open a key door. All right, our first bottle. Doomtap finds a bee in a bottle, immediately releases it, and that's pretty funny. The bee has nowhere to go. It has nothing to attack. Meanwhile, Bread-Kun finds the Master Sword in Mire. That is really good for Bread-Kun. So at this point, we are starting to get close to go mode. It's essentially an ice rod hunt for Bread-Kun. But there will still be more items that will be desired, basically, to finish out the seed. Bread-Kun is setting up a hook push, setting high index with 3 lamps, and he gets a stuck hook, and then places another couple of bombs and 2 lamps, and is able to release. I don't know why that didn't work. A couple things could go wrong. Maybe the lamps were too slow. Maybe one of the flames went out. There's probably another reason too, but I don't know. I don't know them all. And meanwhile, Doomtap reloads pod, and now this means he can fight the boss and collect its prize. Specifically, reloading a dungeon allows you to collect its prize, because the prize that falls in a boss room is whatever. It just depends on whatever dungeon the player enters. All right, Silver Arrow fight for Bread-Kun. Bread's making really good progress through the seed. Well, Doomtap is at Helma. Fire is a crystal. Not sure if I missed a crystal for... Oh yeah, Skullwoods was a crystal. So Bread-Kun's got that. And yeah, the Eastern crystal as well. So yeah. Bread-Kun is tearing through dungeons. Doomtap gets a pendant from Helma. That's too bad. Although I did miss the item. I've forgotten where flippers were. Visa caught. So Doomtap has those. Bread-Kun does not. Middle of Skullwoods. Interesting. So, yeah, it was not a full clear for Bread. Yeah, Bread's got an interesting way of routing these seeds. Yeah, so it could pay off, but it could also be painful later. Yeah, and as expected, Doom is going to Eastern. Pod Eastern was a great combination, of course. Classic combo. Oh, the big key of GT is here. I didn't realize that. That's not especially important, but it can be helpful. It also means that this probably was Bread-Kun's... No, he has the pod big key too. I don't remember. Yeah. So Bread-Kun got the pod big key in his first play of the game, which was, which means that he had a cave state big key this whole time. So cave state big keys include Pod, GT, Thieves, and Hyrule Castle. That's part of the reason why Hyrule Castle was an early incentive for Doomtap. And yeah, the pod sword is Bread-Kun's tempered. Bread-Kun bombs the door to the fairy room of Pod. Getting fairies later? Not quite. It will be used to walk through to activate, not activate, but sort of apply a quadrant glitch and skip a super tile and go to Hookshot Cave. Meanwhile, I don't remember how many pod keys are in this dungeon, but it doesn't matter. We don't wrap our keys back to 0, which is good. That happens in a lot of seeds that have the pod small key in the shooter room, for example. Runners will often reset after that happens. Alright, bomb jump for Bread-Kun. Doing the second bomb first. Pretty interesting. Okay, Doomtap is doing water checks. I don't think Hobo is part of this route for Doomtap. And Bread-Kun gets a bottle here. That's right. That is both of our runners' first bottle. And that's pretty significant. Bread-Kun's going to be pretty close to go mode. Wow, the cane! The cane is Azura. Wow. That is a rare check for no logic. Well, it's not rare, but some runners essentially never go there. And Doomtap gets his first bow here. We remember that the second bow is at Armos. Yeah, so Doomtap with a hook shot would be extremely powerful now. Full hook pushing with slot 9 Samaria blocks would be extremely helpful. He's fluting to 4. What's next? Going north. And if he is going to Uncle, this could be a Thieves Town play. Alright, so Bread-Kun mainly wants an ice rod at this point. Womp is a pendant, which is good for Bread-Kun because he's missed the flippers and probably will not be picking them up. Oh, Bread-Kun did not pull back high enough, I don't think. Or at least if he did, it's not a setup that I'm aware of. Okay. So basically, taking damage during a fake statue pull, yeah, maintains the state. So yeah, that did work. And now through some statue drag magic, Bread-Kun will be approaching a transition that'll take him to Helmosaur King after a couple of transitions, really. Alright, so Doomtap makes his way in reverse through Thieves Town, finally opens the door, is pausing. Not sure what is happening on Doomtap's side. Bread-Kun, the Helma fight was no problem at all with Silvers and Tempered. In fact, didn't use his sword at all. And that's right, it's a pendant. So, a second pendant earned for both of our runners. And oh, I missed the Thieves Town search for Doomtap. I'm surprised if he's skipping those checks. Not really sure what the plan is. I think they still need to find Ice Rod. That goes for both of our runners. So yeah, wonder where that will be. So we've seen 2 fire rods, and I did not explain that, but what that means is that there are 2 fire rods in this seed and 2 ice rods, and that's the way we're playing this tournament. We're calling it no logic double rods, and having 2 rods in the seed ensures that Trinex is beatable, because even if a rod lands on Trinex, it's still possible to beat him with some other rod. And it also means that our runners will solve the seeds potentially in different ways, or that it's less common that one runner will find the needle in the haystack that the other doesn't. Still happens, of course, but now it's been quite fun to race and see how that has affected things. Yeah, in my opinion, it's been the best no logic mode for tournament play. We tried out a couple of different varieties of no logic, and that seemed to be the most popular. All right, so Bread-Kun did make his way to Hookshot Cave using the quadrant glitch. Meanwhile, it's a blind fight for Doomtap. Blind is a scripted fight, but it's still easy to mess up the script on phase 3 and get hit by an annoying fireball. Okay, Doomtap mirrors 2 times to get back to the light world. The mirror switches your world state, and Doomtap started in light world, and it was a fake dark world, light world. And in fake dark world, a mirror transition sends you to the real dark world. So we needed a mirror again to get back to the light world. What is next? Perhaps Misery Mire? Fortunately, nothing of real value is there. It'll be a tempered for Doomtap. Again, we get a funny hop that goes from the outside to the outside. All right, Bread-Kun has set up a stuck hook, but I'm not sure how this one's gonna work. It looks like he's got a misslotted hook, which I don't... Oh, wow. All right, way to go. That one was a little advanced for me. So he knows how to use hookshot misslots in a way that pushed him a great distance. That was very cool to see. And yeah, that hook push takes him to the top of GT, as we can see. Powder is just a convenience at this point. Pre-Moldorm. Alright, time for Moldorm fight. I wonder if Bread-Kun will go to Aga 2. I assume so. Alright, so with 2 bottles now. The second bottle was at the top of GT as well. 2 bottles. This can basically solve anything. But of course, hook pushing also solves any problem as well. So really, we just need an ice rod. That's the main thing that Bread-Kun wants to see. Doomtap as well. They just need an ice rod. Okay, thank you, Zakat. It was a double hookshot miss slot, and from what I know about those, they can be set up a lot like a stuck hook. But when there are 2 back slot hooks, they can be released, and so Brad was able to just release them basically. I'm not totally sure how it was done, but it was really great to see that. And Doomtap did not have the silvers, but was able to defeat Vitreous no problem. Nice low percent legacy style. Bread-Kun is in Light World, and that's because he started in Light World. If I remember correctly, it was Spectacle Rock Cave where he started that trip. All right, next up is Desert for Doomtap. I did not see that this is a crystal. Oh yeah, of course, we know everything now. Both runners know all the crystals and pendants. Yeah, so Desert is the next play for Doomtap. And it will be interesting to see whether we collect the crystal here. I think yes. Sometimes we hold off on collecting the crystal because we can collect the prize from Argus, but there's no real reason to go to Argus if we don't want the prize of Swamp. Oh, I didn't notice that Sick Kid had a vanilla hook shot. All right, so watch out on Doomtap's screen. We'll completely glitch the graphics. By it, I mean the red potion here. It will be a spin YBA. And the VRAM is corrupted, and that is fine because the rest of the game works, and Doomtap is now at Landmo. We can see that its textures are moving in a Landmo shape. Oh, the red boomerang for Bread-Kun. That's pretty nice. But Bread-Kun already has silver arrows. It actually is really good because now Bread-Kun can set distance in a new way. And having a boomerang is great for that. Doomtap, meanwhile, gets something, an unknown prize. And what's next for Bread-Kun? Another desert play, perhaps? Meanwhile, Doomtap needs to save and quit and reset his console to restore the graphics. And Doomtap is buying potions now. He's got one bottle, and he's going with a green. This usually means subtile YBA, or it could be a spin YBA like the Landmo fight was, but most likely not. Since the most common spin YBAs are to get to Landmo and to get to Argus. Those are a couple of the top spin YBAs. It's gonna be Eastern. Right. Doomtap hasn't done this yet. Okay, Bread-Kun is solving Desert with a stuck hook. And yeah, this should be very good. I didn't see him open the door. Rather, I didn't see him move the wall. But that's what he did to give himself more room. It's not necessary to do that, but that's okay. So Bread-Kun visibly defeats Landmolas and earns the crystal. Bread-Kun has 2 bottles and is using his hard-earned rupees to buy a green and a blue. What's next for Bread-Kun? Could it be a Thieves Town play? Nice. Armos fight for Doom earns the silver arrows and a crystal. dungeon we have not seen yet is Ice Palace, so we'll probably see both runners in there at the same time. All right, Bread-Kun is setting up a hook push, apparently. No. It's a green YBA, of course. I don't know why I said that. Of course, using magic is a setup for a green YBA. Okay, it's time for Ice for Doom. He's going into the well. And the well is positioned directly below the... What do you call this? It's this room. So we're in Cave State, Ice Palace. We can use this opportunity to do some checks. But Doomtap's not going to do that. Doomtap's just going to beat the dungeon. And a bomb clip will take Doom to the bombable floor, and he can just proceed to the route. That is, go straight to the big key chest. All right, Bread-Kun is going to search Thieves' Town. We'll find out what's here. Doom is not interested in opening chests at all. Now, my assumption was that he needed to find Ice Rod. But why isn't he doing that? Well, on his tracker, he's got Ice Rod. So that means that we missed it, or Doomtap mismarked it. I don't think that's the case, though. He's the racer. He knows what's going on more than any of us do. So we must have just missed it. And that is, that's go mode for Doomtap. I don't know where it happened, but we saw him skip chests way back in Thieves' Town. So we'll have to see how this goes. He was using Ice Rod and Kakariko. I did not see that. Gotcha. Well, that is definitely a sign that he has Ice Rod then. Oh, nice Fire Rod and Master Sword fight against Cold Stare. So, there we go. Doomtap has Ice Rod. He's been in go mode for a little while. I thought it was an Ice Rod hunt, and I was wrong. So I wonder where that was picked up. Trying to remember where the last invisible set of items was. Or it could have been something I missed. Not totally sure. One common one is the Maiden chest in Thieves' Town. But we'll find out. And throwing the links to these runners' Twitch channels and chat. Follow these runners. They know a lot about this game and are really showing off so many glitches, and they're great randomizer runners. So there they are. All right, next up is Trinex for Doomtap. Does he have Big Key too? Yep, he just walks in. I wasn't sure. Oh, Bread-Kun didn't open these doors first. Oh no. Okay, that is interesting. So, part of the advantage of Opening up. Oh, and we saw Bread-Kun's item menu, and he doesn't have Ice Rod either. Makes sense as he's been opening up items. Yeah, nice fight for Doomtap. All right, so that's all 7 crystals for Doomtap. It's off to Aghanim 2 now, and Doomtap does not have to go enter GT at all. He's got the cane, so he's got pretty easy access to Aghanim 2. Okay, so we should see Bread-Kun pick up the Ice Rod here. And by see, I mean he'll open the chest where it lurks. We see the invisible chest and a save and quit. That's interesting. So basically that chest is the Ice Rod, and we missed it totally. And this has occurred before in a tournament race where we didn't know what it was, and we as commentators somehow realized it, but we weren't sure whether the runners knew it. In this case, the runners, Doomtap in this case, he knew he had the Ice Rod for quite a bit, and then I missed it. Now Bread-Kun has the Ice Rod. I didn't see him beat Thieves Town though. We saw Blind in her cell. So I'm kind of wondering what the plan is. Meanwhile, Doomtap clips out of Aghanim 2 the infamous Clipe, and that saves a few seconds on the cutscene. And now it's just time to drop down to Ganon. The Master Sword fight for Doomtap. Doomtap is a very good, very skilled player at the Ganon fight. And it'll be no exception with the Master Sword. He does have silver arrows, so it won't be an extended fight or anything. He just needs to get through phase 2. He's even employing the cape. Alright, so Bread-Kun is going back to Thieves Town. Yeah. If I were Bread-Kun, it's sort of a thing that I might have done by mistake, just saving and quitting at go mode and not finishing the thing that I'm doing. So I'm not quite sure what happened to him here. Doomtap catches Ganon in a way I didn't quite expect. And Ganon is down for Doomtap. GG's. GG's to Doomtap for finishing this seed rather quickly. Less than 75 minutes. And meanwhile, Bread-Kun is on the blind fight. blind is down for Bread. So not too much left. He's still got Ice Palace and Turtle Rock now with Ice Rod in hand. He's in go mode. And let's see what is happening next. So it's a forfeit from Bread-Kun. So he will not be continuing on. We'll see if the runners want to chat. So congrats to Doomtap on winning this series. Both were exciting races. And it was quite exciting in this seed to see both runners get a different set of items. We are joined by Bread-Kun GG's on this run. What did you think about this seed?
I'm surprised a stuck push kit was actually available in the Logic race for once. Early at that.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like most of these races have been. I feel like most of these races have been you're missing one piece of it throughout the entire run. But
yeah, exactly. And you both had different pieces of the slot 9 hook pushing, Samaria setups. And that is, the Kane was at Zora.
Oh, he actually went with Zora, huh?
Yeah, and meanwhile, Doomtap did not find the hook shot, which was at Hobo. GG's Doomtap, and congrats on the win. I was just saying the hook shot was at Hobo.
Oh, thanks to the GG's. GG's Bread. I intended on checking Hobo earlier. My whole plan for the seed was to do a lot of checks and hope to find the items, because I'm not quite as strong at the glitches and stuff, and it seemed to have paid off here.
Yeah, and Bread-Kun was tearing through this seed with hook pushes, suck hooks, even getting a double hook shot miss slot, which I couldn't comprehend at the time, but it took him from hook shot cave to Ganon's tower, which was a nice way to collect a second bottle, powder, and defeat Agatu. But it came down to the ice rod, and for me it was a bit rough because I didn't know you had ice rod. So
yeah,
that was quite a nice go mode for you.
I hovered over the ice rod in the item menu with the quick swap when I got it, so I saw it on the auto tracker. I also had the shovel, which isn't on my tracker either.
Yeah, you also used ice rod in the well, which I also did not see. But our viewers saw it thanks to Shkoople, and even still I was in disbelief, but hey, you got to try next and beat him.
Did you just have like the TR big and you just did it normally? Or
yeah, I had the big key for everything relevant except for Desert and Thieves Town, but obviously I did Cave State and I just YBA'd to Landmo.
And Bread used a stuck hook to get to Landmo. I forgot where Turtle Rock Big Key was.
I think it was early. I don't remember.
I don't have it on my thing. At that point, I was just looking for ice rod because I had 2 bottles and I could get the ice and just I could do everything once I got that ice rod. So that wasn't an issue anymore. Because once I got the boomerang off Magic Bat, then I knew I could at least get to Trinex without issues.
Yeah, and like I said, you were storming through the seed. It just came down to Ice Rod, and you could have gone to Thieves Town at any time. There were more interesting things to do, in my opinion. So that's just rando, I guess.
Yeah, I had the ability to basically clear a bunch of dungeons outside of Thieves, and I was like, okay, well, maybe Thieves Big will just show up and I can just walk through Thieves normally at some point. I know I can just YBA there whenever.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I know I can get there whenever, but I saw a bunch of... I mean, I had a bunch of other dungeons I could also easily clear without doing the YBA or anything, and then if it showed up, hey, cool. But...
I think I got very lucky with the order in which I found the items. I got my first bottle very late, and I missed the other bow and the cane was in the Zora area.
Yeah, I didn't have
Yeah.
cane, but I was able to. In this seed, the cane at this point for me, the cane would not have really done much for me at this point.
Yeah, I know Doomtap used the wrong warp to Aghanim 2. Did the cane come in handy for anything else?
I didn't know how to
probably
beat
just
Misery
to
Mire
get-
without it.
Oh yeah, that
I
looks
had
nice.
a stuck push, so I was able. Well, I had the Mire big, so I could at least just do one stuck push instead of two of them to get past that door.
Right, so that sped things up for you a little. And how about the boomerang? You got the boomerang from Magic Bat, but you weren't really able to use it, unfortunately.
No, I was just happy to see it because like I can do the double YBA Trinex. Not that I really wanted to, but I can as an option. And getting the boomerang is just like, okay, thank God. I can just set up a stuck push and just throw myself a Trinex. Good. Don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. So Doomtap's the winner of this series, so congrats to you, Doom.
Thank you.
And thankfully, it's not all over for you, Bread-Kun. There's still more races to go. And you put up a good fight, so I'm sure it'll be an excellent match. I'm not seeing who the next matchups are, but I'm looking forward regardless. Any other thoughts on the seed or tourney?
Honestly, given a lot of the no logic seeds I've watched, that was probably the nicest one I've seen. It's just so much you can just do, and no real hard gates for. Trinex is the only, I guess, trickier part of the seed, but even then, it's not that big of a deal in this seed.
Yeah, this is basically the opposite of the last race we did, where everything was super difficult.
Yeah. The last race was pain. This race was super nice. I could just run around and just do stuff. I didn't even have to like think about much. I just did things.
True. Right. Well, GG's to both of you. Fun race to watch and commentate. And thanks to everyone. So thanks again to our tracker, Sammy Mus. And thank you, SpeedGaming. And thank you, chat, for watching. So everyone have a good one. And we'll see you soon for more No Logic.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.